What's up? Oh, Kyle's boxing already. It is Friday, April 15th. We got a lot of cool stuff to talk about, talking about Amazon's inflation fee and Electrified RAM, and GaryVee's dropping Series 2 of an NFT. We'll explain it all.
Everywhere I go, the people really want to know who I is.
I feel like somewhere in there was a really good new rap song drop or something.
You know, maybe that's what it's going to be. I'm going to start to write the subject lines so that they rhyme, so we can.
They like land a rhythm.
You know what? I think that's a thing. I might give that a shot on Monday.
There we go. New flavor. Paul as a rapper.
I think in my greatest fantasy, I would have been a hip hop artist in another life.
His stage name is Pauly J.
we got one of the best compliments I think that I could have possibly ever gotten based on like our swag last night. So my daughter had she turned 13, so now I have a 13-year-old daughter, and there were like no less than 25 teenage girls at my house last night. And Brooklyn's like, "Come here." Brooklyn's my daughter. "Come here." I go into the room where they're all piled in, and they were like, "Your clothes are so cool." Right? I was like,
yes.
And then, you know, Brooklyn's like, "My dad makes those clothes." They were like, "Where can we buy them?" I was like, "I'm just going to go take the rest of the night off, Kyle. I think we've done it."
You were like, "I've arrived. I got 13-year-olds on my side.
I want to buy the Asodu swag."
That's nuts.
How is that even cool? It's working.
How is that even cool? No, one of my wife's friends legit last week was over, and the early mornings are for trouble mug was sitting out, and she was like, "Where did you get this? This is the mug that I've needed all my life," right? And so, you know, she's not nowhere close to automotive. Actually, like conversations my wife has had with her is like automotive is terrible, but she's like, "That is a brand I would follow."
Let's go, because that troublemakers are on the inside. You know what I mean? Yes. So I mean, you know, I'm going to start with a segue. Speaking of swag,
stop.
Segue
time.
All the energies here on a Friday. Let's go.
Morning. So, speaking of swag, our swag specifically, we are going to be setting up a pop-up retail store, a pop-up retail swag store. I'm not kidding. At the next live event. So on Monday, May 9th, the next Asodu Family Reunion Remix. First night of Digital Dealer. We rented out a great venue again, same venue as last year if you were there. And we're setting up one of the cool things. Like last year, we did the hats, right? We had Asodu hats and we signed them, and it was awesome. I might bring mine and like display it. Yes. But we're going to set up a pop-up retail store with all of our swag. And if you get tickets, if you happen to be able to get tickets, right, then you're going to get some Asodu cash, and you're going to get to buy, quote unquote, some Asodu swag included in your ticket. And so you get to do a little shopping. So you want a mug, get a mug. You want a shirt, get a shirt. You want a hat, get a hat. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So we're going to be releasing the information and the ticket sign up information, doing some different things this year. But last year sold out. And then we opened it up for more, and then that sold out. And we opened it up for more, and that sold out. In the end, I don't know how many people ended up coming through. I definitely think
people were crawling over like the bushes. They were like, "How do I get in this thing?" It was great.
Don't worry. If you're in this community, we're going to make sure that you get in, but you're going to have to move quick on the tickets, whether you're a dealer or a vendor. Got some separation of those ticket pools coming up. So mark your calendar right now, Monday, May 9th. If you're within like a couple hours of driving distance to Tampa, I think you should plan on being there. We have some guests that are going to be there. Some people that are just driving in for the event. So look, even if you're not going to Digital Dealer, it's worth coming. And if you are going to Digital Dealer, why wouldn't you be there?
Why wouldn't you? I mean, it's Tampa. Look, I mean, I know there's just not that much. I love Tampa. It's beautiful, but nightlife in Tampa in May is just kind of a, you know.
Yeah. What else? You wanted to the positive dealer stories. We haven't been talking about enough of them. If you have them, go to asodu.com/positivity and let us know the good things that are going on in your communities, you know, and how they're connected to your stores. There is a deal. What dealer is it? Oh my gosh, it's Brian Ortega's dealer.
Yeah, Valley High Toyota.
So what did they do? Gas card. They're giving out. I mean, gas cards. Come on.
Yes, they got this whole competition, but they ran an ad set around it, which if you know Brian Ortega and the team there, they just have a whole bunch of fun. So it's him kind of grumpy at the gas station, you know. So they play like they're just leaning into the cultural norms that we're all experiencing right now, attracting a community around it, and then giving back based on it. So there's just, I mean, like multiple levels of execution there. So yeah, you can check that out. If you didn't get our email this morning, sign up for it, or you can go to asodu.com/pushback and boom, you'll be there.
Legit. I love what you just said, a really important point. This is a little bonus lesson this morning. All right. The internet is like a river, right? And the river is basically culture. And when you create marketing or advertising, you're trying to get campaigns out, don't try to be a boulder and make the river stop, right? Because the water will find its way around you. What you want to do is build a little boat and ride on top of the river and use the momentum to carry you forward. That's what Brian Ortega did with the gas card, right? Cultural moment. Everybody's grumpy at the gas pump. Well, let's talk about that. Let's contextualize that into our store. So remember, your marketing, your branding, culture, the internet is a river. Build a boat that goes on top of it. Don't drop a boulder in the middle of it, because nobody wants that. Let's get into some news, huh?
So good. So good.
All right.
David Long said he has to get his team start to posting all the positive we do. Yes, you do. And everybody that's listening, get your team involved in this and we'll celebrate them. We'll call them. We'll get them interviewed, all that type of stuff, because it's going to, it's going to be really good. We got some spam. Bye, spam.
We're all like, block that one. Hey, we know we're making it. Someone's paying attention when we're getting spammed. A bonus.
So good.
All right, let's talk about some news. Amazon announced that they are going to drop a 5% levy for fuel and inflation fee, is what they're calling it, on sellers for the first time ever. So if you don't understand this, Amazon, a lot of the products you buy on Amazon are actually individual sellers that use Amazon as their platform for distribution. So they pay Amazon a portion of the sale to,
a portion that's a light word for basically Amazon maintains the majority of their business and they get a portion.
Okay.
But
that's just, by the way,
that's established. Second,
if you sell a book on Amazon, I know it's just like, why didn't you guys just write the book? Right. For granted. Okay. So it's actually, they currently take a 34% cut of the sale. So say Kyle is a merchant and he's got a widget and he wants Amazon to sell his widget. They will warehouse it and sell it and store it and ship it for 34%. Right. So it is a lot, but I mean, hey, like you can find your own way to store it and ship it, and you can do that. If you can do that.
Exactly.
Hey, look,
I mean, they're covering you know what is interesting? This is interesting. I like this. We're going to tie this down because, and I know that there's more there, but dealerships do the same thing, right? But even actually better. We talk about, like when I was in sales a lot, we would say this to salespeople. It's like, no, actually what you're getting is the cost of all your overhead of a personal business taken care of by working for a dealership. But you're not like a barber or a hair person. You don't have to pay for the seat. You just get all the overhead taken care of and you get to curate your business within a business. Yeah. Amazon does that. It's just kind of a little bit different because they have those fees. So
basically, this fee commences April 28th. And so in an email, I'm reading from the article that we linked up here, in an email sent to merchants Wednesday, Amazon said it's made big investments since the start of the pandemic to meet surging demand, including doubling capacity, adding almost 750,000 employees, and raising the Amazon average warehouse employee wage to $18 from $15. So they really did lay out like some justification, like, hey, it's a 5% thing, but we've been working really hard to make sure that we can sell and fulfill your products and bring that value to you, keep the workers happy so they can do it. We've more than, double capacity. Like they've done a lot to justify the 5%, but this is just another inflationary tale, right? Yes, like exactly. This 5% is going to end up in the seller price, right? Like what's the seller going to do now? They're going to raise the price to cover it.
Yeah, but that's what is happening everywhere. So I'm
and
not
then consumer
surprised.
And this is how inflation works. And then eventually consumer pushback happens at a certain price level, and it's going to start with the most discretionary items first. Right. So, I mean, this is why, you hear all the talk of, are we heading toward recession? Likely. Why? Because people are going to use the available funds they have on more essential things and less luxury things. And so this is just, I think, just another indicator of that. But I mean, it's the first time Amazon ever did it. So it's worth talking about.
Yeah, it is. Hey, before we get to the next thing,
I'm excited about the next one, actually.
Before we get to it, nix those messages, boss. They're coming in strong this morning.
I don't hear a dang thing.
I've got dings happening. It's okay. We'll get through it.
It's funny. I don't hear them.
It's so strange.
All right,
I don't know.
All of my
maybe the baby keeping me up too late has got my head like dinging with random stuff.
We're always messing with settings, and Kyle's like, "Yo, I could hear your messages coming through today," and I was like, "Really? Let me see." Okay, it's
all good. It's all good.
Settings.
You got it.
It might be me, but I don't even hear him anymore. So, Ram announced at the auto show that their electrified Ram is coming in 2024. I'm excited about this. We talked yesterday about the Ford Lightning and having it it kind of looks just like an F-150, right? It doesn't look that.
Yep.
I'm thinking the Ram is going to look pretty freaking awesome.
I would guess so. Yeah.
And so there are some concepts we linked up to. They have a dedicated site, Ram Revolution site, where you can see like a little bit of nuance of what it might look like. But it's heavily, what I love about this is that it's being heavily influenced by what they call Ram Real Talk. So the site that you go to that we linked up in the notes, you can go to and you can actually join this community, and they feature feedback, and they're actually designing and putting things, they're like, hey, like whatever you say, we're going to put it out there. They're not hiding from it.
I see you, Ram. That is the essence of global focus grouping, and they're nailing it. So,
and they're not slowing it down. That's the cool part. Focus groups in general, right? As a marketer and having an agency, like I don't really like focus groups. You get a random group of people in, you put them in an environment that is not normal or natural in any way, right? You shove cameras in their faces. You have a weird proctor asking them questions with a bunch of people they don't know. And you're like, I'm not a big believer.
You're always going to get the canned answer that everybody's expecting out of that.
Yeah. Right? You think that those answers aren't influenced by the situation and what is socially acceptable to say? No, you got to put it out there. You got to make it like Reddit, where people can just say what they want, right? Unabashedly, and then listen. And then listen.
Someone needs to build a car based off a subreddit. That would be legit, because people would upvote. Like, think about that. Like, this one got 1,000 upvotes. This one got 2 upvotes.
Apparently,
1,000 upvotes.
Apparently, there's going to be a Pez dispenser in the center console now.
Done. Yeah, because someone's going to throw something out, and it's going to be like,
it's going to pile on it. Everyone's going to pile on it. So Ram CEO Mike Koval says the company is leveraging its later than competitor release to its advantage to include and enhance features consumers want most. So they're like, yeah, we know we're coming out a year or so after our competitors, but we're actually going to use that as an advantage. We're going to see what's working, what's not working, what people are complaining about. And then we actually have the second to market advantage, where we can like fix those first things. Like, they already accept, like, hey, we're not going to get the buzz of being first, but we can definitely make the splash of being right.
I think if you own that and take it as your responsibility, instead of just being like trying to copycat everything and going, no, we're going to iterate on that. And that's intentional. You can really win.
You sure can. So Ram says it's going to have a full electrified model for every segment in their portfolio by what year?
No way.
You guessed it. 2030. 2030. Just wait.
Let's get shirts that say by 2030 ... and wear that out.
We need to like bookmark all these episodes, so when 2030 hits, we can do a review and see what actually happened. Okay, we got a few minutes left. This is a fun one. I've been heavily involved in this project from the beginning, just because I'm a big Gary Vaynerchuck fan and have been pretty involved with him and his team. So his initial blockbuster NFT project, VeeFriends, which is basically a combination of characters that he hand drew, and they all have attributes like kindness and patience and all the things he talks about a lot. He launched this less than a year ago, and he's about to launch series 2. I think one of the most important things about this is that he built an amazing community around these VeeFriends, and he has a Discord server of like 350,000 people on a Discord. It's like having 350,000 people on your Slack, if you don't know what Discord is. And the first series has so far done $500 million in sales in 11 months.
Golly.
$500 million. So he initially sells them, and then people trade them on the secondary market. And with NFTs, you can actually write into the smart contract that the creator gets a percentage or a royalty from every time it is traded. So do the math. Every time it's traded, Gary gets 10% of that. So in perpetuity for the rest of his life. And that's like an annuity. Series 2 is coming out. A lot of demand around it. Like, just to give you some context, Series 1, the initial floor price was 0.5 ETH. At the time, it was about 2,000. Right now, the cheapest you can buy one is $36,000. 36,000 is the cheapest. This Series 2 is going to release. We linked it up in the comments so you can check out a little bit more. I know it might be a little confusing, and we don't have time to go all the way into it today. But it's just, Kyle, I think it's indicative of, what culture is paying attention to.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm excited to watch it, and you should be watching it if your head is up at all, because there's opportunity even for dealerships in that world. And watch out, because we may be doing something similar here.
There may be some ASOTU NFTs floating around the interwebs and the metaverses very soon that might look a little bit familiar to you. So that's it. If you're listening to the live stream, we're about to jump in to the All Things Used Cars on Clubhouse. You can go to Clubhouse and just search All Things Used Cars, and you'll get there. We'll see you there. Have a great weekend. Sell hard tomorrow, and we'll see you on Monday morning.